So it is get her done a week. Next week is raining. We're going to try and get this side done. And that will just leave the roofs essentially. And I was just up this ladder. This is what looks like when you're talking about stupid. That was stupid. But now we have this span board up and installed at least out as far as we can reach and on that end. And that's going to allow us to get some measures here for these boards where we are. And also to install our joist soffit hangers. Here in this wildlife exhibit, we have a Casey in her natural habitat. She is painting the walls where I messed up and or where there's a nail. And over here, the elusive, ever cagey, hard to photograph Ben, daubing in his natural habitat, daubing away.
It's red, so there. Action.
You're seeing?
Blue paint on that thing. I didn't like that. Bird poop.
You blue painting my phone?
Yeah.
Where are you, the genie in that old joke?
Blue phone.
Okay, that looks about like I measured 16 correctly. Step 1, measure 16 correctly. We got about a ½ an inch up here at the top. Step 2, pull it into the bottom there, and yeah, it's 3/8 or so. Make sure the machine is on. It likes to turn off. It says it just blew. Blue means go, I guess, or something. Just off the red line on both sides. We've got that gap in between, and one nail. Close it up here on this side. 2 nails. Ben insists that's how we have to do it. Now these blue strips, I have them just kind of streaming decoratively right now because we had to move them to match the pattern we ultimately decided on, which was smarter than the pattern I'd had before. Which just means I need to now straighten them out a little bit before I put nails in them. And we were supposed to be doing the same, I think it's 6 inches spacing all along. Keeping in mind, of course, that your batten, you're adding even more nails to help hold all that together, but 6 inches is what they called for.
Then I'll give the voice to someone else and back out and paint.
Fabulous. Here's me board. Oh, thank you, pretty lady. First, 1, 2, 3, 4, and partial. That's just the layout we chose. But 5-ish boards done on this section. Obviously, we've got tape we've got to do when we move the scaffold. There's more dots that I'm going to cover. And then blue strips all the way down. But we should easily be able to get another 4 boards, probably all the way to the window, and maybe start the window. I have one of these casings pre-made, and the next 2 will need to be, put together or just put up with just cut. Either way is fine. Honestly, I haven't found a huge advantage to one over the other. Maybe in tightness if you pocket screw them together. But other than that, one of the things I want to mention is that I like to have the batten just ever so slightly longer than the board. And so you can see here, we're talking about a 1/16, but nevertheless, I think it presents cleaner. And I think that you can really see it there. That might be a touch more in the 16th, but that's what I'm looking for. And we got good clearance off of this metal piece here. Remember, this is able to weep on the back there. And so if water gets down, it's got a way out. When we get to this corner, we haven't caulked, we'll come back and caulk. I'm gonna bring caulk up into that space so that water can't get down and back. I did fold this the same way I folded the metal on the windows and door trim. So I'm up in the scaffold. You can see we've made some progress. Dad and Ben are down getting the boards ready. Battens for this couple 4 boards here, that missing board there. And we got this, was already pre-built, this window frame, trimmed up and ready. So we got that on. This window's a little bit wonky. I shouldn't have accepted it. It's not square. But it's in, and at this point, I'm not going to get them to take it back. I should have just never installed it. But we're looking here underneath the window, and you can see these staples. I had this here, was in line with the tape. Basically, I was going off where the studs were, and I changed my mind on that, and here's why. So we're coming here on the layout, and this is going to come off. It's not going to hit that corner. It comes straight down. This next one here in the middle, this next one's going to be off of, basically like right aligned to where it runs down. Just a continuation of the white, but it's going to go blue, not as deep, and come down. And over here, there's the trim over, and then that one, and the next one's past that last board. So I think we'll be good on this other window over here. That I don't know for sure yet. I sure hope so, because we're trying essentially to prevent having battens that are cut like, you know, like up and then over and down, and then there's half cut out. We did that on one or two of the other walls, and the layout, just a little bit of difference should make that go away.
So, update on our little bee's nest, our wasp nest. The spray does appear to have done its job. Came out and sprayed the other night. Lots of little wasp corpses, and there's appears to have been an animal that came in. You can see they kind of pulled material out to the side, parts of their nest strewn all about, and the animal, whatever it was, must have eaten. There's one wasp left who's come back to investigate the carnage. I wonder if that animal suffered any negative effects from having eaten a bunch of wasps that were killed with that on-contact poison.
Drip, drip, drop. A little bit of rain. Next week is supposed to be more. Showers all week. So prep work now. Casey is working on getting all small boards that we can inside, and the big boards all condensed. And, you know, we're going to try and get the tractor under cover. We're going to try and get the splitter under cover, and just have that be, you know, kind of winter ready, so that if we still use those through the fall, which we probably will use the splitter some more and the tractor, then, you know, they're covered. And I'm hoping we still get to this before next week's rain, but we're not going to get to this roof here. And on the side, we'll definitely get this side done, including the soffit, and hopefully including the gutters, and be done on this side, minus paint touch-ups. But again, this roof, and then the roof that's down here, probably not until the week after that, if it stops raining anyway. Although I can and will work on it whenever I'm able to, and, you know, it's nice enough outside, because it's supposed to be like 30 to 50% shower chance right now. It's supposed to be a potential atmospheric river, but I guess the way that those work is they essentially add on to a Pacific storm with a, you know, kind of a stream of warm, wet water from the tropics. So we'll just see if it feels like bandwagoning or not. So looking at this siding here, right up on the top here, band board just sits right across the top of the windows, right? And absolutely made sense. At the same time though, what I left myself between this band board, which also sits on these windows, you know, gives you a nice looking top trim to it. I like the look, but I left myself more than 8 feet, and these boards are 16 foot long to start. So this and all of these boards over here, and this stack, and these boards here in this stack are all essentially going to be less than 8 feet by a couple of inches, 94 inches or so, and I can't use them. At least not for this, not for the house, not for this project. And it's gonna be hard to find somebody who wants to buy them at less than 8 feet for any reasonable price. So if I had managed to keep that to 96 inches, then we'd be in a lot better shape, and pretty much all of these boards on here would be extras. And instead, I've got to cut every last one of these in slightly more than half, And then that will be even additional extra under 8-foot boards. So not ideal. Casey sprang into action. Here's our pile of extras we're gonna either sell or use somewhere else. That's the cut half piece I need soffit wise to finish out that gable end coming down for the top side of the house. And these are all the extras that were sent to us that were the wrong size. And hopefully we'll be able to sell those or use them somewhere else. It's really neat to get this on. It's going to be a whole lot of cleaning the siding here because I don't have this gutter downspout system yet, so it's just splattering. I will try and get a bucket or something directly underneath that downspout up there when we start raining this next week. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like that I need to do. I'm probably going to end up doing it in the rain because it doesn't make any sense to waste time with so little time left in the year where we have good weather for this outside stuff. I mean, I still have one more concrete pad to pour, a couple of piers, and, you know, decking, steps. There's a lot that still needs done. So that's something that, you know, deal with it in the rain I can do. All right, last window trim is on, and what is that? What in tarnation? Do you have any idea how close to Thanksgiving it is right now? Turkey. Anyway, we ended up doing things a little bit different on this one middle window, but you really can't tell the difference. So 1 inch thick, 2/3 inch thick on top of that, well, minus, on top of that 3/8. And both of them are, you know, butted up to and caulked up to this line. You can see that over there on that, it's the same. It doesn't jut out past, and that's because I do have the rain screen buried up underneath this guy, and that helps make sure that this is nice and leveled. You don't get as much compression on the big board as you do on the 3/8 and the Batten because there's just more nails, and it does compress that rain screen a little bit more from, you know, 1/4 inch down to 3/16 or something. And so today our goal is going to be easy peasy, finish out this wall. Casey's going to work on paint touch-ups. I have some caulking to do, and then we got to move this scaffold a little bit this way, run the rain screen, and bring back with the gutter. And the whole way down, Casey's got paint touch-ups to do, we have gutter work to do, and, you know, there's the middle band board that needs the rest of the paint. So there's still a fair amount of work, but not so much on the exterior. Summers here in Oregon used to be cooler and wetter than they are now in the valley. And, you know, whatever your views on the world, you know, I've lived here my whole life, and I can tell you that for a fact. Growing up, it was different. Whatever the change is, I don't like it. I don't like it at all, because it also means that now my fall, which used to be this beautiful, cool and clear and not that cloudy with the occasional rain, it seems to want to set in and rain a lot more. And I don't want it.
One of the things that has been just a critical tool for this process for us with such a tall house has been the scaffolding. And I wish that we'd been able to invest double what we have in the scaffolding, or that it had been, you know, a process where I managed to have like a large crew or something, because it it is a thing to move this scaffold around, and it is a big thing, like time-wise, for Ben and I to be able to disassemble it and reassemble it. It just takes a lot of time, and you know, it's sturdy stuff. It's heavy, so I wish there were some other option. There just isn't. So it's got to take the time that it's going to take, and I can say that for how long we've had this, we've absolutely, you know, made a smart choice in just buying the scaffold outright. There's no way that we would have been able to rent this much scaffolding and, you know, not come out pretty much on top with how long we've had it. So what would I have done if I had been able to have my druthers? Well, I would have bought another 4 tiers worth of this scaffold and a long walk plank to where we could really work the whole building's worth even at height, and, you know, really feel confident that we don't have to keep moving this thing around so much. And I think that would have been such a huge deal, you know, for more efficiency. But at the same time, there's only, you know, one project that we would even need that much on anyone in my family. It's this house.
Casey's doing her usual wonderful job of covering up all of my sins, starting with white. Boy, you really can't even tell from here how bad a job I did with that soffit. Nice work, honey. So trying to get some prep work done for one of the things I'd like to get done of the 1,005 before the rains come, of which I'll get down maybe 5, is this top corner on the gable. And I ran out of one of the metal pieces that I've been using previously to be able to make this interchange. So let me show you what I'm working on to make it work this time. So first thing here is, you can see I have my Z, and I've got already taped back. I've got the butyl on top of it. And here's the piece that I'm using. And yes, this is a very janky stand for this ladder to be on. Totally safe. But this piece here is going to fit up onto that one like this. So this is going to fit back in here like this. And it's not quite perfect, but it's pretty good. I'm actually quite pleased with that. Oh, look at that. Just fit right over top of its friend. Get good contact on that butyl. I actually think that's in some ways a better seal than I got on the previous set. And, you know, a little bit of a gap up here in the corner. You got your soffit coming down into that. This piece is going to come over to it. Hello, beautiful house. We have the last piece of siding, except for a little bit on the side. So I can't say that yet. Dang it. I have a bit of a truncated day tomorrow. Have some other stuff I have to deal with. And it's the last day in a while. It's going to be really nice. So got my ladders up, and I'm hoping to finish off the battens on this side. There's one trim board that comes down. And then, you know, this little roof here. If we can get that done, then this whole roof can finally be done, because there won't be any more need for ladders up there.
Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.